It's a tragedy.
Hello. What's a tragedy? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Silver and Steel. We are your Tuesday night crew, and we're so excited to roll some dice and embark on some wonderful adventures. Get away from all the awful things this week by escaping into the land of make-believe. The land of,
King Friday.
The place where there's imminent disaster about to happen because
I can't. That King Friday was a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't remember that, so I was like, the land of.
Mm-hmm. It's for you.
Hands up in chat if you remembered, if you got that, because I didn't.
No.
Let's introduce
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
Sesame Street girl.
I mean,
when exactly when
That's
it was not a conscious choice. I just had access to Sesame Street, and I grew up in Buffalo, where I had access to Sesame Street also in Canada, so I would get the English version and the French version. So when I was young, I would watch Sesame Street all day long in 2 different languages. Not that I can speak French at all now, but it was fun. So
that is the missing piece of the puzzle about like your wonderful supportive nature, and like why you're always going out of the way to like help everybody else, as you were essentially like you were like steeped in Sesame Street.
That also explains a lot about me, because my formative childhood media was Miss Piggy. I was a big Muppet kid, and Miss Piggy was my idol. She still is. I own so much Miss Piggy merch, it's not even funny. If a high-end company were to come out with some Miss Piggy couture, I would be on it. But the idea of this strong, powerful piggy who didn't take no shit from nobody, even when I was a baby, even when I was 6, I was like, I like Miss Piggy, because my voice has always been this deep. So I was like this little miniature, like, I really like Miss Piggy and Ninja Turtles. Daisy is based heavily off of my childhood voice.
Yeah, definitely.
I would submit all couture is Miss Piggy couture for the record. Yeah.
She makes everything work.
She's so extra. God bless Miss Piggy. And now I'm gonna have to play. Now I'm gonna come up with a pig can to play in some type of campaign.
Let me tell you something.
And I'll be here for it.
I'm merciless against so many NPCs. If a Miss Piggy themed adversary comes up, I'm on her side. Like if the shadowy person for the swamp turns out to have been Miss Piggy, I'm switching sides. I want you all to know you've lost a halfling. Yeah,
that's how she's gonna attack too.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, I'm convinced. Right? Yeah, coming with you guys.
She's a monk. Bard. I'm already building this.
Barbarian.
It's great.
She's a bard barbarian.
Monk bard barbarian.
Barbarian.
Yeah, I love it. Let's introduce everybody as well as their wonderful characters who are not Miss Piggy, but that is okay. Take it away, B-Dave.
I mean, I'm feeling the intense penetrating shame of being not Miss Piggy right now. B-Dave Walters, I say words about things, got some stuff happening. Follow me on Twitter, whatever. I don't expect you to keep track of it because I can't, but stuff. Yeah. And I'm playing freely. The luckiest boy, my heroic halfling.
The luckiest boy. Jen.
Hey, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am on Twitter as Dreamless, on here as Dreamless Jen. I am playing Alyndra, your elven wizard cleric.
Amazing. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. You can find me as Obo Lauren on the Twitter or wherever obos are sold. You can also find me here playing Orkira Eldrex, your Dragonborn cleric, and trying to heal everybody.
So when fire breath meets a stinking cloud, can we just rule that deals fireball damage?
Absolutely. I'm here. Yep.
It's incendiary. Yep.
I'm waiting for the moment where Avren turns into a stinking cloud, and then explosions will happen.
You're just going to snort. You're going to be like, and then whoosh.
Press the digitation. You can ignite small flames. Literally just hold your hand out. Boom.
That's your lighter.
Yeah. I'm there for it.
And last but not least, Hope.
Hi, I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle, and I am playing Penelope Halfpint, your halfling druid Circle of the Moon.
Very nice. And I am your DM, that bronze girl. Before we get into our recap and roll some dice today, we have some awesome fan art that we want to shine a spotlight on. So let's take a look at it. What do we got in store today? Oh my gosh, that just makes me miss Callie.
I know. So we've got
That's so pretty.
We have a plethora of art. So these first two are going to be from our friend Tiffy, who has done all the Post-it note art. We got a Callie and a Sofieus. So you can check them out at MALYIX0013 on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, look, it's the butter. And like, I love how both of them are just holding objects in midair mystically. Yeah, and I do miss Callie.
That's cute.
She's down there still.
And then,
Wow.
so on Instagram, we got these two amazing pieces of art from Tosha Awesome. Oh my God, there's Penelope with the cloak. Yeah. So yeah, that's on Instagram. That's TOYCHICA awesome because they're
Toy
awesome.
Chica.
Thank you.
There you go.
I should have you read these off instead of me.
No, I only did it when you spelled it out. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
that's why I'm
so
spelling it for
cute.
also our podcast listeners, so they know who to go look at and see. So we got those two fabulous pieces of art, which are fantastic. And then the final one, which, so we're familiar with Dan Nova. Yeah, he did
really cool.
an updated
Gosh.
Orkira Tartan Kiwi on the Twitter. Definitely
That is
go
very
check them
cool.
out. Yeah, I
Damn,
love.
Daniel, that's amazing.
I watched him do some of this
Wow.
art on Twitch because he was streaming, and he's like, maybe I'll just do this. And it was one of those art moments where you're like, it's perfect. And then the artist said, oh, wait, let me just do this. No, wait, it's even better. Stop there. It's now perfect. Wait, let me just do this. And every time it was just amazing to watch.
Nice.
So we
That's
had all of
awesome.
that. And then we also had a billion fan cams from RoboGoblin. And I couldn't pick just one. So just go check out RoboGoblin stuff because they're awesome.
Yay. Oh, yeah. I should also say, I know that Todd and Meagan aren't here today. They had to deal with some personal stuff. So just give them your very, very best wishes. They have not left the show. They're still,
No.
they're
See-
still here.
And Jennifer and I will be filling in as the stunt Todd and the stunt Meagan. The plot twist, I'll be Meagan and she'll be Todd.
Avren, because yeah.
Yes. I'm
Mhm.
so excited.
Mhm.
Yes.
Did we get an introduction for a Who, a Wild You Are?
Did we?
Jasmine?
Oh,
know.
hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. You're, world builder, world wielder, because I wield the world against the players.
Mhm.
And as you can see, I have a way with words.
Hulking Hurler. You hit us
I
with
mean,
the planet.
certainly alliteration.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
World builder with words. With a way
yeah.
with words.
Exactly.
Wielding the words.
100%.
You can
Wielding the
find
words.
me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch at that bronze girl. And I do some pretty cool things like wielding worlds with great impunity. That's it. That's all I've got. Hit the trailer.
Follow the raven's call as darkness begins to fall. To test your faith, it's time for the diamonds to break and choose whose side you will take. Give in to the powers revealed and come make a deal with your silver shield.
Hi, hello. Don't mind me. I was just frantically reopening my D&D Beyond tab because I was frantically trying to close the People Under the Stairs trailer tab that I had open because it was horrifying.
Mandalorian season 2 trailer dropped today too.
That's a much better. Like I watched. Yeah,
This
Much
is the
better
way.
trailer than
I-
the People Under the Stairs trailer.
but that was
I
fun to
think-
watch this morning anyway.
Missed all of the trailers today. I gotta
Well,
go do
the
that.
day's not
But
over.
The Dune
There's-
trailer was a plus.
Yes.
The Mandalorian trailer also
Yeah.
very, very
Is
good.
it a plus? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the
I'm so
way.
excited.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Now
the
it's
way.
for an entire week. I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna walk around everywhere with that as my theme song.
It is great walking music. Like everything you're doing seems really important. Like when you
Yeah.
like it's like I find like Florence and the Machine, like Seven Devils. Like listen to that when you're shopping. And you will feel it's like the most beautiful, powerful
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
ever.
The
in
Matrix thing where you kick in the door.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Folding the laundry, vacuuming.
This is the way I fold. This is the way I vacuum.
Make your life.
You're like, this is my religion. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
That makes everything so much cooler. Speaking of religions, our adventurers paid their respects to a giant turtle goddess and came back to the surface through the sort of ingenuity of two very unique characters called Brick and Rickle. They gave these guys some totes, really awesome, great tips on how to like ride this really cool jet stream to like the surface. It's a little dangerous, but like the players figured it out with like minimum difficulty. They didn't like really get pulled into the ocean or like smashed up against the cliff rock. So like it was pretty dope, yo. They got some really sick views from up there. It was really cray. And with that, our players managed to make it back safely from the Underdark and to the town of Port Argent. Now, as soon as you reach Port Argent, Sofieus and Avren are called away to a very important emergency council meeting, leaving the four of you to your own devices. Now, I know there was some plans of seeing Sal and Salome after a short rest. Is that still the plan?
I can take him. I just hope that Machete stays quiet during their council meeting.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Like,
No, that's gonna.
We stay quiet during their council meeting.
We should have thought of that before they walked away.
Oh no, I thought of it. I just didn't say anything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How raucous is a council meeting?
And I do like lean in and I say, there's a non-zero chance that the person we're trying to stop is on the council. I put the odds at about 5 out of 7.
I thought we're trying to stop a giant lightning monster.
Well, no. But the whoever like is messing with the lightning monster and messing with the elementals and messing with the serpent that was way out there, like there's a person and we haven't been able to figure out who it is. And it's probably one of them. Mm-hmm.
But isn't Avren and Sofieus on the council?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who approved that, by the way?
Well, so I got here, okay, and because I guess we really haven't had a chance to catch up. By the way, I've missed you guys. Oh man, have I missed you guys?
It is really good to see you.
I got here, and they were sort of on this council, and I was like, so Avren, this is like a trick to enslave these people, and it seems like no, he's serious. He was trying to like put down roots, and he suspected something was wrong, and so he called for help. Naturally, he called me. Do not let him live down that in his darkest hour he turned. And as we've been looking around, yeah, there's like I know you guys will kind of like get your footing here, but there's some like a wasteland area. There's like some like mud flats. There's some people out there. We got to look into those people. Apparently somebody's been coming from there. In and out of town. We found some like muddy boot prints and stuff, but we didn't like spot the person. And yeah, somebody riled up the elementals in the mine, riled up the elemental in the water. That's the next thing we have to do. Presumably she's some sort of elemental power. And and Salome, the goblin that I'm taking you guys to meet, her brother Sal is also on the council. Yeah. Let me take one step further back than that, because this has been like an eventful few weeks. The first thing that happened was a silver shipment disappeared on its way to the next town. We found it. Somebody had stolen it, buried the silver, and paid off the guards to just basically hang out in the woods. They didn't hurt them, but they were like, just be gone, because this silver not arriving is going to make something happen, and you will know when it happens. That's why we think somebody's trying to like put all the regional towns at odds with each other. It's just chaos. They're just throwing chaos. And it's probably one of those people. Yeah.
How many people are on the council?
Oh, you see, like he very much like starts counting on his fingers. He's like, okay, there's Garish, who was a half elf. There's Godfrey, that I think was his brother, I think. Chucksena is a half-orc. We super thought Chucksena was the bad guy. Like, we thought we'd figured it out. But then we met her wife, and her wife's really nice. And I don't know how anybody with a wife that nice can be bad, except we also know Avren, so perhaps my logic's flawed. there's Sal, the goblin. And again, his sister Salome, I don't think she's actually on the council. I think she's just kind of like an elder states goblin. And then there's Manfred, who also was oh wait, Manfred's not on the council either, I don't think. Manfred was just another half-orc. Yeah. So Garish, Godfrey, Chucksena, Sal, Avren, Sofieus. OOC, Jasmine, did I forget anybody?
No, I don't believe so.
Right. I did try. I do take notes, kids.
Okay, so that's not very many people. Should be easy to figure out who's who.
You know, you would think that, but nothing's been easy since I got here, which is part of why I'm so happy to see you guys. But let's take you to this goblin, Salome. I'm pretty sure she's not bad, but honestly, you guys kind of tell me what you think. I'm just kind of wary of everything at this point.
As you say this, the person who had greeted you, or the person you sought out more correctly when you entered town, the freckled dwarf with the pigtails, or I guess the twin braids next to you, goes, "I'm surprised you trust me."
Well, but you know, anybody
Seem
that
very suspicious.
I mean, you know, you pulled me out of a tree, and I don't forget that. And Bessie, there's Bessie 1 and Bessie 2. Like, I mean, if Bessie 1 and Bessie 2 trust you, and they had very nice things to say about you, by the way, it's been good, you know. How's your uncle? Is he, last time we saw him, he seemed a little wound up at the mines.
As angry and surly as ever.
I mean, does it look like the silver flow is going to start again anytime soon?
Can't say. Perhaps.
This was
Mine is in very dire need of repairs. It almost collapsed on us.
Yeah, no, I remember. We were there. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
You said your name was Millie, right? So we're kind of new here, and we've shown up in a lot of different places. And I was just kind of wondering, is there anything we should know about like local customs or laws or things we should be really concerned about?
History books.
Gods you probably don't want us worshipping.
I can't believe you associate with the rest of him. Your friends, they're not like you at all, Freely.
What? I mean, wait, hang on a second. Like, by definition, you're insulting one of us. So is it who?
I would never.
No, they're great. These are heroes. Actually, like we went way beyond being heroes, honestly. But now they're back, and they're gonna help us save the day. Like Avren summoned me here, I guess. Really, he seemed to be expecting me, although he was like kind of cagey on like the mechanism by which I arrived. I'm not sure. Wait, actually, Orkira, didn't he say he brought you guys here too?
Yeah, he sent me a message saying that he needed help with hero, the Sir Biswalot, but apparently Sofieus had that taken care of. But that's how we ended up here. We had a whole big thing, and there was space and Rend and the Abyss, and it's a long story. But yeah, that's why we came, because he said he needed some help.
You know, that's that guy, man. Okay, like we've had flesh-eating monsters, we've had bone-crushing monsters, we've had aquatic lightning monsters, and he could have called you guys at any time, and he didn't call until I cut an already clearly dead worm in half. Okay, that's I'm charting his moral compass here.
Well, some of that is par for the course. The wildlife here isn't very kind.
Millie!
Hmm.
Do you know where we can get some more of the aquatic weed without having to like go back and talk to, you know, that guy?
Weed.
Really?
No. This is like, it like really is like water weed. Like
seaweed?
No, it like helps us breathe underwater. Like wait, like yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Oh.
that's how we got under there the first time. But there's just this guy, his name is Tobias, and he's a bard, and he's the worst. But he was the only one that had it. No one can.
Terrible music.
Is there anywhere else? Because we need
I
more.
would take it upon myself to break his lute or his hands.
Wow.
I mean,
You haven't heard him play. Terrible. Truly terrible.
It's not okay at all. No.
The efforts that bards put forth should be valued, though. That's quite a. Even when it's bad, it's an
He calls
offering
it spoken word.
No, It's not.
That's
It's
that's a
just
form of performance I'm
awful.
not quite familiar with.
no, Alyndra. It's just the worst. Like you know how sometimes like I used to be able to do it for whatever reason I can't figure it out anymore. Where you just like say mean things and it just makes a
Mhm.
person's mind hurt.
I do recall that, yes.
He does that, but just when he's just talking.
I mean, that's a talent. I mean, Harold was able to do that a lot, and I was always really impressed.
Hey, yeah, Harold. All right, yeah. Wait, where's Harold? Like, I don't even know where we are, so I don't know how to know where Harold
But
is.
last we saw him, we were in the clouds, and he was missing a leg.
He's back in water deep, and there's lobsters. Don't ask.
Last time I
Anyway.
saw him, he had like a giant arm, leg, foot thing. Is he like still rocking that, or is he like he got a leg again?
He said he was okay.
No.
Yeah.
But, Millie, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm losing the point here. We're going to need more of the aquatic weed because we gotta find Hank. We gotta get back out there and see what's up with this Kretzala
Well, I'm
thing.
sure your friend Hank might have some leads on that.
Oh, well, I
He
mean,
lives in the water.
well, but yeah, but he doesn't need it though. But okay, all right. Well, yeah, we'll save it.
He
save it
may
for
be
him.
a wee bit cross with you.
You know, and now we got to tell him his girlfriend didn't come back, and yeah.
In her
Okay.
letter, she promised she would.
Well, you know,
I read it.
some things you cannot promise. Okay.
I opened it and I read it.
But Millie,
Sneakiest thing I've ever done.
well, but stop confessing to it, Millie. And I do sort of like elbow her a little bit, and I'm like,
Strange questions. Is it possible that this terrible bard is the cause of all of these issues? And also, has anyone looked into any sort of shape changers or creatures who would not be happy to have silver around?
Shape changer.
hmm.
Never heard of such a thing. But maybe Salome may
No,
know.
really was one for a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can ask Salome. I mean, she is the smart one. No, you guys,
She's
you wouldn't.
very wise.
Yeah, yeah. You wanna come with us, Millie, or do you gotta?
If you want.
Yeah, you know, we can hang out, we can chat. Alyndra, does a barren mother as a creature mean anything to you? Not like, you know, a mother who just can't consider. Millie, could you excuse us?
Rebuttal?
Yeah, we just need to yeah. I need to
Really?
talk-
Really, I
talk-
like it when the candle appears over your head like that. That's fun.
yeah, no.
There's also that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Quite pleasant.
yeah, no, Millie. I'll take them over. We'll be good. Thank you. Thank you.
Did I
Well,
say something wrong?
No, not at all. I just realized there's
I can just message Freely. if that
Private
helps.
business.
yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Freely, what was?
I just look at her and I say, you can't confess what you don't know.
And she like gets her two animals, takes them by their leads and walks away, kind of like still like giving like a cheeky nod as she goes.
Hello, Millie. I like your hat.
Thank you kindly.
As soon as she is gone, and let me just make sure for my own edification, DM, because again, I just have my notes all over the place, unfortunately. Bonnie is Chucksena's wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As we're walking like through the town, like when we get near their house, I just sort of like point at it and I say, okay, so I don't know if I have this right, you guys. So remember, there's a half orc, Chucksena. We thought maybe she was the one kind of behind what was going on. I mean, she seemed like she was okay, but she sort of fit the description of the person that we'd seen. There was a person, and they were robes, and they're kind of coming in and out of the you know. And then
Where did you get this description?
some people in a nearby town had seen her.
And this is the person who stole the silver?
We didn't see. Yeah. Actually, the guards described the person that paid them to just kind of like bury the silver and take off for a little while. Yep.
And it was wearing robes?
Yes.
You said?
Okay, so it was a robed figure. and it just like it was covered in marsh mud. So we figured there's a place out there where there were some people that in the past got sent away that are out there. We haven't gone to look for them yet, which we've been told. This is one of the things we're supposed to talk to Salome about, is like who's out there. So there was a creature, and we did battle with it, and it was called Soeta was its name, but the creature was a barren mother. Does that mean anything to you?
Does it? Have I heard of that before?
Give me a history check.
All right. That is a 25.
So this is a folktale you've heard of. You never thought it was something that could actually be real, but this is a very strange, sometimes like a Germanic in origin. It's the idea that resonates with you. Maybe not the barren mother in particular, but the idea of some type of spirit or entity that is unable to conceive children and therefore steals others' children's or tries to claim them for her own. They're sometimes depicted as evil creatures. Sometimes they're depicted as more guardian-esque creatures. In the case that Freely is describing to you, it's a large serpentine creature that looked very dead, almost like its skin was stretched taut over its bones, that makes its nest in the home, or I should say brings back orphaned creatures to its nest. In this case, there was an axolotl that had died of some natural causes, and she had taken it upon herself to like sort of take over the care of these eggs. And so although you don't know as much about the barren mother, you know that the idea of either a vengeful or protective spirit that is motherly in nature but can't have kids of its own is something that you've seen pervade multiple different forms of books and things like that.
It also seems to tie to the Fae with their changelings, claiming creatures of their own.
So,
perhaps. So this sounds quite familiar. I did come across similar myths in a number of different places during my travels.
Okay, this was real. We saw it and we fought it, and we did our hero thing.
Often have the basis in truth. So
well, but
we
someone
tell
had
stories to protect others.
Someone had like summoned it, right? Like we saw like signs of like ritual carvings and things that like had brought it there, and it just occurred to me that Bonnie, and I do like literally point at the house like I have no chill, like I'm not standing at the front door like bah, but I am like Bonnie is a midwife, and I think she and Chucksena, who we suspected anyway, maybe were looking to conceive. And I saw Bonnie leaving Salome's house upset the other night. Maybe this is like some...
I'm having a dumb moment where my one character is remembering things that my current character isn't.
Honestly, as a Lauren, feel free to correct me because I could be saying this wrong, but this is Freely's recollection combined with my notes.
I thought I remembered in that conversation that she said that they weren't interested in having kids. But...
See, I thought she said she was. But either way, Freely could be super wrong about this.
Okay.
However, he just does look, he's like, I don't know. We were already suspicious of her, and it's true, Bonnie seemed really nice, but there might be some mystical motherhood through line here that I'm not...
Add something to this mix, which is the mother is an idea, a parentage. It also could be someone who is not a woman.
That's true.
Also, there's a lot of people in this town, and you got to figure there's a lot of people who are parents or want to be parents. So that could apply to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, is there an orphanage?
Is there?
Yes.
Perhaps that would be a place to start.
Well, hang on. Let's talk to Salome because I'm jaw-jacking your ear off here. But, and I think she's got some information because you, Alyndra, your brain works a lot different than mine. You're going to know some things to ask I didn't even think of. But
It's true.
Also, it seemed like the sea monster was the more immediate threat. And Penelope, have you ever heard of this weed that you're supposed to take to be able to breathe underwater? Maybe instead of talking to a horrible bard, you can help?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it works both ways, but I think Alyndra and I totally have you covered if you don't want to talk to this bard guy.
I don't recall quite how to access the weave in that way anymore.
Oh.
I did.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know if I need to.
More experience. It was a ritual that I used to be able to cast, but it just I couldn't quite recall the correct pattern.
Yes, I am remembering it. I remember it.
Oh, wow, thank you. Yeah, so no, that happened to you guys too. It's like I got here and I was like so tired. It's just like, yeah, I couldn't do what I used to. Like I've gotten some of it back, but
we did go through this once or twice before when we were in the time machine, the time bubble, and we had some issues with that. I could understand everything, and now I can't. It's quite aggravating. I'd love to find some information on that, perhaps.
Well, Salome, she's nice. She's a little prickly. She's but
let's go meet her.
Do I know anything culturally about ways that I might warm her up?
I think if Freely were to assist you and give you some tips, you might.
Okay. I would like to, because I am an anthropologist, be looking for anything that might be of cultural or historical significance in this town.
Okay.
Cultural norms, things like that, and keep notes on it so that I know how to properly behave and observe the etiquette.
Yeah.
As well as
total opposite.
Hey, some of us are just born charismatic, okay? I do tell her everything, how she loved the flowers, about the books, the science experiments with Freely. Super didn't understand, but very much is like she was doing science. She's
Salome was, or Bonnie?
Salome was. Yeah, Salome was. Bonnie, if you do ask, it just looked like Bonnie. They just had a nice house. They had a garden. She had a cute dog. I even talked to the dog, and the dog seemed like it liked her. No, I didn't. I just avoided the dog. But I did sneak into their house.
You let
and
the
I
dog
didn't find
out.
anything. I did let the dog out. Now you know the answer to who let the dogs out. Also,
Freely.
that earworm.
The answer is always Freely.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, but Salome, she's very well traveled. She is old. She was an adventurer and has retired. She really loves flowers. She does science. She's kind of prickly. She doesn't really like take much crap, but she will let you borrow books, but you got to bring them back.
She sounds like my favorite person. So if she loves flowers, can we pick up some flowers maybe?
Yeah,
maybe,
for sure.
Maybe deprickle her a little bit that way.
There is a florist
would you like to choose?
in town.
Oh. Would you like to select the flowers, Penelope?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Have an eye for such things.
There's a very small little shop. There's it has a thatched roof. It's one of those that's kind of like a farmer's market stall. Like it's only open for a few hours every day. There's upside down lavender and things, bunches of herbs hanging from the ceiling. It smells really good. And the young lady working there sells tea and flowers.
Wow.
That's lovely.
Good morning. My name is Miranda. How can I help you today? I'm sorry, our selection's a little thin.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure it's gonna be perfect. We need a bouquet.
Ooh, a bouquet of what? See, a lot of our flowers were used in our newest, like, sort of the new ceremony we just did, the festival.
Oh, how much would it cost to have one of every flower?
One of every flower. Let's see. 3 gold.
I think we
Penelope's just gonna
manage
lean over.
that.
Yeah, Penelope leans over to Orkira. Is that a lot?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Give
you have
me
3 gold?
a intelligence saving throw, Orkira.
Oh, jeez. Sure. Okay, so I rolled really well. I rolled a 15, so that's a 14.
Okay, yeah. That is cheap. Dirt cheap.
I really don't know, but the last time I was in Waterdeep, the prices were way more than that. So I think you're actually getting a really good deal.
Okay, that would be perfect then. We'll take that.
All right, perfect. Like I said, I'm out of some lilies and things like that. And she like bundles them all up. She takes some very simple like tweed, or is it tweed or twine? Twine. And wraps it around a couple of times, tries to make a pretty bow, and hands the very large bundle to you freely. Do you think you're going to go check it out?
I'll put a tensor floating disc right next to Freely just in case he gets tired.
Do you think you'll check the display out?
What display?
Oh, it's over on the docks.
That sounds lovely. I would love to check it out. Yes.
Yeah, we think we're going to keep it there for probably the next, I don't know, 2 days. We'll see how long the flowers keep.
Orkira, we have to go see the flowers.
When she says that, you see Freely like looks at her and eyes kind of narrow, and he's like, why is this particular festival celebrated?
Oh, we finally settled on a name for the boat.
The boat?
What? Yeah, what boat?
The war boat.
A war boat?
Mm-hmm. The council finally took some of the complaints from Salome seriously, and apparently we're going to engage in some type of naval warfare. Anyways,
I'm sorry, what?
we've pulled an amazing boat out of storage. It's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Wait, why are they going to war?
No, they probably want to fight Kretzala like we are supposed to. What's the name of the boat, by the way? Just for me.
I believe they settled on Falva's Breath.
Falva's breath.
Was this mythical crane. So that's what it's shaped as, with a deafening cry. I think there's some type of horn on board that they can blow that's like very scary or something, but it's shaped, its head, the prow. Well, you just have to go look. It's beautiful. And they even painted it to match. It's made out of the most lovely bleached birch wood, and it has these beautiful red and black accents on it and feathers. It's a beautiful boat.
Okay, yeah, no, the town's going to war with unkillable sea serpent. Great, cool, great.
It's going to be on a pretty boat with pretty flowers.
Beautiful crane-shaped floral arrangement.
You guys see, like, Freely very much is like, oh no, like he's like clearly downtrodden at this news.
I kind of appreciate the fact that they made a war boat look really pretty.
I mean,
I'm gonna guess this town doesn't go to war a lot.
some of us can be both beautiful and lethal, but
It's true.
No, all of you are beautiful and lethal. That's what I'm saying.
No,
like it's kind of
no.
nice. Yeah.
All of us, Orkira, all of us are beautiful and lethal because Avren's not here.
Hey, listen. Don't say that. Hey, listen. I'm assuming we're walking at this point.
Yeah, if you want.
Unless there's anything else we wanted to do.
Thank you so much for that. Just out of curiosity, do you know what Salome's favorite flower is?
Actually, I think she likes these orchids, and she like pulls down and pulls out some like what are they called? Stargazer.
Stargazer lilies.
There we go. She pulls out some stargazer lilies and says, "I believe these are the ones she usually goes in for."
A few extra of those. Do you mind?
Of course. And she grabs some of them and adds them to the arrangement.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As we walk away, as we get out of earshot of anybody in town, Orkira will say, primarily to Freely, but she'll say, so I was trying to ask Millie on the sly. I'm just going to ask you, hey, is there going to be a problem? Is there anything that we should watch out for? Like, gods we shouldn't be praying to, or else we're going to get in trouble and imprisoned and killed.
Executed.
Oh, yeah. No. There's none of that Rexentrum stuff. Oh, man. I mean, at least,
Okay.
I don't think so.
That was the time, wasn't it?
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to walk in and then put everybody in danger again.
No. I mean, not beyond, like, what we always do.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
There was an old religion that seems mostly abandoned. There's a place where you're not supposed to build a fire because it was against some religious law. That did happen to us. And they did throw hands with us, actually. We killed a dude, but let 2 dudes go, and it seemed like I haven't heard any more of it. So I'm sure we will never again. But some dude named Georgie's wife is apparently we're supposed to keep an eye out for her. I looked around, couldn't find her though, because I was at least going to offer my condolences. And yeah, nothing of it.
Warn me before we end up in a place where we're not supposed to build a fire.
I feel like there should have been a sign or something. Like they all were like, "Why didn't you know?" And we were
There
like,
was no
"Clearly, we're not
sign?
from here." Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like I was the weird one.
Yeah,
I think they would have an only you can prevent religious fires sign somewhere when it's forbidden.
I mean, we were reasonable about, we've all spent time outdoors, but just when they saw the fire, they like freaked out. And that was not too far from a nearby town, which was they called it a hedge, but they had a different name for it. He like very much Kalaputar. Yes, Blackstone. It was weird. The one town had 3 names. It was Kalaputar or Blackstone, also Hinge, which
those are really extensive notes because Kalaputar means Blackstone.
Hey, I listen. Okay.
But yeah, the nickname is Henge.
Cheers,
Yeah.
So what's the actual name of the city?
Kalaputar.
Kalaputar.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it sounds 70,000 times better when she says it. And for the record, although Freely would tell you this, he's like, yeah, so Daisy, the little girl that Avren made a warlock, which is a thing he did, lives there.
He's putting another child through that.
Yeah, that's her home. And in fact, that's why we ended up there, is because she was missing and we had to go look for her. And then that was how we ended up finding the barren mother. That was one of the first things we did. That was like a month ago. Like, my life is insane. Do you guys ever just stop to think that our lives are just insane?
Yeah, we tried to take a vacation for a while and that didn't work out either.
I didn't
get
even
ice
get
cream and milkshakes there.
I didn't even get to go
but
to
then
the
we
plane
were
of the ice cream.
immediately
Stop
attacked.
complaining.
Yeah, no. Listen,
boy,
it was
you're
kind of fun for a while,
Children.
and Penelope saw a really cool elk, and it was really neat. And then we got attacked, and just like everything, So
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Literally.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
well,
melted all the ice.
What happened?
No.
Salome's place is in an inn. Her brother Sal owns it. We were crashing here. I was crashing here. And Callie was crashing here. I wish you guys.
oh, this way where you fell?
No,
Hey,
I fell
crash?
I showed you guys when we were up on the cliff. I'm like over there in that radish patch. No, I was like way over there.
You crash way too much.
Yeah, you do a lot of crashing.
I mean, I'd eat too much sugar, okay, but it keeps me like on edge. I need it. I can't be too
You're
relaxed. I'm
lucky
like a
yourself,
coiled
though.
spring,
Penelope, in fairness, we did just crash ourselves, so.
Yeah,
That's true,
I wasn't
that's
gonna
true.
say that because you guys are my friends, and I wasn't just gonna bust you out like that.
Listen, the reason that you can is because we are friends, right?
Yeah, it's true.
That's if friends can't tell each other about their crashing, then who can?
It's true, but this place, seemed nice. They have a kitchen. Sofieus was cooking in there. I think she stole their heat stone, so don't mention that if somebody says they no longer have a heat stone. Rooms, food, knowledgeable goblins.
Hey,
Just-
Knowledgeable
All excellent
goblins.
things to have.
Yeah.
Yep, and I head to the inn.
I
Schlep in the
love that
flowers.
this is like the recap episode. That's fantastic. If anybody's like,
Previously on.
yeah,
Yes.
if anybody's ever like,
Silver
how do I
and
know what
steel.
happens? Like,
His recap is so
the
detailed. He's
episode.
like, oh, this inn has a kitchen and it has rooms and it has
No.
like.
Here's
This is the
problem.
episode when it's like, I don't want to start at the beginning of Silver and Steel. Where can I like jump in? Episode 22 really
Here-
gives a full recap. It's great.
Here's the problem, and this is true. The way I keep my notes, I keep the notable NPCs in a place, and then I keep like just names and things just at random as I'm going through it. So even I have to be like, there's a dude named Jim that lives in a place called Jimsburg, and there was a monster near Jimsburg.
Yeah, I
And
color code mine, so I know
Yeah.
where characters are, places. It's all just color coded. So I'm like,
We're all
oh,
professionals, folks.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Totally professionals.
So
But I
you
do
walk
take them
to
100%.
the inn. It's cute. There's like a cute little awning with little lanterns hanging from it. It's quieter than usual. The owner of the inn, Salazar, freely probably has already informed you, serves on the council, so he's not in today. When you come in, there's the same tired looking halfling, freely, that you always see, cleaning a glass, the same eternal glass cleaning, and kind of like, kicking dust around and doing things like that when you walk in.
How you doing, friend? And then I like immediately press to digitate the nearest thing he's cleaning just to like help him. Like,
Oh, good. Thank you. How are you doing today?
Great. Is the lady
Pine
of
a
the
little
house.
something?
Well,
Huh?
Salome, the whistle swap.
Yeah, I think she's out at her workshop.
Is that not here?
No, she blows up too many things. So it's a couple blocks down outside the town gates. Got a couple of noise complaints, so had to. It's okay. They've got money. Salazar put up a couple grand for her to have her own space. So she owns what used to be a farmstead out past the edge of town.
I did not know that, friend, or I would not have brought us all here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I figured y'all knew.
Now we know. Okay. Well, can you give us directions and we'll go talk to her?
Yeah. Are those flowers for her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah. She's been hard at work ever since y'all left. Said you gave her a big project and she was itching to get started on it.
Yeah. No, I think I know what that big project is. Actually, hang on.
She was working on something upstairs, but after it misfired a couple times and almost brought down the roof, Salazar insisted she move it to her garage.
Hold on just one second, you guys. Alyndra, is the Tensor's floating disc still there?
Sure.
I do put the flowers down and I just run upstairs and check my room. I mean, Freely doesn't have much in terms of possessions. In fact, he literally fell out of the sky with what he had, but still, at least whatever is mine that's in there.
Yeah.
I just like.
When you open the door, you're met with the smell of smoke. And you notice that one of the walls has blackened from like fire damage. And it is the wall that is adjacent to Salome's lab.
Can I see into her lab?
Yes, you can. So like I said, so some of there's like some deterioration, some of the insulation has fallen out. There's some supporting beams still standing and there's blackened charred wood and a giant chunk of the wall is indeed missing. If you put your eye up to it and look inside, you do see a lot of her gizmos and gadgets clicking. A lot of them have been pushed to the side and there is a large table in the middle with a lot of sheets of paper and I guess plans around it. You surmise that something maybe at one point sat in the middle of it, but it has since been removed.
Man, I wish Sofieus was here. She understands this stuff. Okay. I do
I
come
might be
back.
able to understand some of it.
Well, actually, I do. I know Alyndra's smart. I just kind of come back to the railing and I just hit Alyndra with message. I'm like, there's a hole in the wall. You might get like a little peek on what she's working on. And then actually, I just say, actually, you guys
probably do better than that.
I do kind of just say out loud. I'm like, wait, you guys, like, come on up. We'll just like take a load off, shake the rocks out of your boots.
I do have clairvoyance, so I could give it a once over.
I don't have any boots.
It's at this point, actually, Orkira, that you notice the bartender is looking at you kind of like awestruck. So although he continues cleaning the glass, he's also just like, when you say that, I don't have any boots, he's just like,
yeah, because that not many people make for the giant dragonborn feat. Hi, did you have any questions? I get this a lot.
Are you
okay.
a vegetarian?
No.
Oh,
am I supposed to be?
I was hoping you'd be.
Why?
Do you eat people?
No, of course not. Why would I eat people?
Because you're a dragon?
No, I'm not. I'm a dragonborn. I just have extra bits.
Is it weird for you to be here?
I've been traveling around so much and I'm just kind of used to it. So I'm used to being weird everywhere.
Oh. Well, I just wonder if it's like offensive because like our town walls are made out of giant dragon bones. I just kind of
because I'm not a dragon. I kind of
but you're and at this point he's like his finger's like an inch away from your face. But you're like that's a lot.
Do you not have dragonborn in this plane of existence?
I mean, maybe somewhere. I haven't been throughout the whole plane of existence, but we don't have them here.
Okay, yeah. But no, I'm not a dragon.
What comes out of there? He like points at your nostrils. Like what? Like acid comes out of there?
No, air, snot, and fire sometimes.
Fire comes out of there?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I thought acid would maybe come out of here.
No, I know a couple that that's a different kind of dragonborn, but no, lots of fire.
It could.
No, nope. I knew some people who could. Yeah.
I'd like to hit Orkira with a message and say, are you all right? Something all right?
Yeah, no, I get this all the time. I can keep this guy distracted while you don't do whatever you need to do. And I will just stand there answering.
Yeah. Right.
Like Orkira is kind of used to this. And if it means that
what does that do? And he points at your tail.
So it's kind of a rudder when I fly and I step on it a lot. It gets burnt a lot, especially when I'm trying
he like hands you a flag. Can you hold this with it?
No, it's not that kind
Why not?
No.
Why can't you do it?
Because it didn't grow that way. I mean, I didn't really have a choice when it grew. It just kind of happened. And then, I can kind of swim with it.
Could you like try? and
she'll try.
Back upstairs.
I would just say I do hit Penelope with message and I say, she's got him distracted. Come see something neat.
Penelope is sitting on the disc with the flowers and she's picking bugs off of her cloak and putting them in the flowers.
This makes it better. This makes it better.
And so she's completely distracted. She's not coming up.
Okay.
You are, because the disc has to stay within a certain number of feet.
Okay, so she's sitting on it. This makes it better. And this disc is just slowly
floating up the stairs.
The camera is behind the guy I'm talking to. It just watches Penelope floats by.
Yeah. As you float up, you hear a flagon crash against the ground and break. And you hear a voice say, well, maybe if we tried something lighter.
I mean, I'll try, sure. Yeah, and I'll continue to distract this gentleman.
Mm-hmm. You are now all in Freely's pretty nice accommodations. There's a cozy bed. It has 4 posters. There's lots of furs and things like that spread on the bed, in addition to your typical textile blankets and things like that. And there's a big, beautiful stained leather, almost like carpet, that sits across or sits underneath the trunk that sits at the foot of his bed. Freely, your belongings are undisturbed, but you also see where there's like a blast where the wall adjacent to Salome's lab has been something happened there.
Glad I was not in this room, but when Alyndra comes in, I just like point at it. I'm like, that's her lab in there. I'd like the record to show I was not planning on breaking in. Really, she broke into my room from a certain point of view. And so then I just kind of like took a look, and I thought maybe you'd like to too.
Is there a main entrance to that lab that would be easier?
Yeah, there's a door that right at the landing where the stairs come up that goes in.
Do you think we should go through the main door, or just give it
a cursory glance? Well, but then we're like, breaking into our lab. Here I'm just like looking through an anomalous hole in the wall. Yeah.
All right, then I suppose I can look through it with clairvoyance.
Okay.
I suppose I'm going to need to rest soon. I'm quite tired. We've been traveling quite a bit recently. So I will cast clairvoyance and put that to the other side of the wall.
Okay.
Kind of trying to see the place best where I could see the notes.
Okay.
The books and notes.
The notes on that center table.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what does your clairvoyance look like when you cast it?
It's invisible. It's an
Okay.
invisible sensor. So unless somebody has true sight, in which case they see a small orb that floats.
Okay. So you cast it, and your vision kind of extends over into the lab. You see a lot of whirring trinkets and baubles and things like that, perpetual motion machines and things like that, sitting against a lot of cubbies and desks that, as described earlier, this place is a mess. When Freely mentioned to you that Salome might be in need of someone to help her arrange her library, you can see now exactly why. She has a lot of stuff kitschy grandma in every sense of the word. There's a gaudy floral paper on the walls, but there's also very large chalkboards and other boards that have a number of pictures on them, and then red string tying different things together. You also see a very large sort of drawing or illustration of this sea dragon that Freely has described to you kind of in very vague terms. You see a lot of taxidermied creatures that some look familiar to you, some not so much. There's dead flowers in a vase right by the door. And like I said, there's a lot of these little trinkets and bits and baubles and these cubbies, and there's books everywhere on every surface. Some of them have pages even loose, kind of drifting out of the side of them. Everything is covered in a fine layer of dust. And on this table, you see a variety of very large, what looks to you to be blueprints. To figure out what they are, give me let's see. Give me an Arcana check.
That is a 17 on the die, so it's a 27.
Mm-hmm. Looking at it, it looks to you to be some sort of power source. It looks like almost like a combustion engine that runs on a fuel you're not completely familiar with. It looks like based off of some of the numbers and stuff that Salome has scribbled down, that she's trying to figure out how to contain the energy from something. It's a very large energy source. And based off of the size of this blank spot in the middle of this table, and based off of the size of the hole in the wall, it's about the size of a very large exercise ball.
The sources?
Yeah, her and this like engine sort of thing that she's working on.
She made a happy fun ball.
Yeah. All right. So she's trying to contain it. Are there any notes about I'll relay this to everyone. It's not fire, it's not electricity, lightning, it's not anything I've seen before, right? I've never seen anything remotely like this.
No, and you notice from her notes that she is still experimenting with her fuel source as well. And it seems to be like some type of blend, a bioorganic blend that she's working on. And with a 27, you'll figure this out too, that when it burns explosively. And so she's trying to figure out how to harness that into something useful.
Okay.
And from her plans, you can gather that she's somewhat close, but unfortunately she miscalculated and thus an explosion.
Can I tell what it's trying to power?
Let's see. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
You do notice some plans for some type of vehicle far off on her desk.
Does it look like a boat?
No, it doesn't look boat-like at all to you.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Is there anything else that I should be looking for?
Do you ask this to Freely?
Yeah, I'm asking this to Freely, and I guess Orkira's still downstairs. Penelope's distracted by bugs and flowers.
You hear downstairs like, wait, so heat this up. Wait, no, this thing. Can you set this on fire?
I mean, I can set anything on fire that you want, but do you want it on fire?
I would just say to Alyndra, no, I figured if you looked around her lab, maybe you'd see something. I mean, I think she's working on some kinds of like weapons for us to go and fight.
She has some sort of power source that would explode. Quite unstable.
we should probably get out there and talk to her. But honestly, I'm just glad that you didn't look around in there and find some, like, plans for hideous machinations. Like, how like bad guys like leave on their table things like, oh, tomorrow morning, like kill all humans, like, yeah. So that's at least it seems like things are what they appear to be, at least with her. So that's that in and of itself is a relief.
I don't know. Is there any common theme to the books that she has around?
Yes. You notice a lot of them are based on lore, myth, and legend. Mostly from this
I like
continent. She's very interested in I guess like archaeology, things like that. And ascertaining, like, if there was this world's equivalent of a Yeti hunter, she would be that, is what you gather.
Cryptids.
Yeah. She's very much into the collection and study of strange specimens, especially like animals that now actually, since you asked this question, you notice a lot of her taxidermy is creatures that have like 2 heads or 2 tails or strange little quirks like that. And a lot of her study revolves around extinct species and, like I said, mythological species.
Okay.
It's like, in this world, what even counts as mythological? You know what I mean? There's not any 2-headed ogres. It's like, there are though. Like, no. And then like
Right.
unicorns are a thing. Like I don't, yeah.
All right. So that's interesting. Based on myth and legend. Is there a particular myth or legend that they seem to be open to or looking at?
One is this giant lightning serpent is something that you notice she's been.
Does it have any
very
information in
fixated
there?
on. The information she has is actually information that Freely has as well. She has been tracking like oh my gosh, there's a poem somewhere. I don't think I have it anymore. She's been tracking through the oral histories of local people, and believes in the return of the serpent every so many years. She's been having trouble convincing the local council that the threat is real and that this is something that they have to pay attention to, because it's been so long since they've been attacked by any type of sea creatures that they don't believe, that they think she's kind of a crazy old lady. But from Freely's accounts of everything, Freely and the party believes 100% that there is a giant serpent coming.
It does seem that that's something potentially confirmed. So I think we should continue exploring that. She is outside of town, correct? Should we go to her?
Yeah, and let's probably not mention that we nosed around our lab.
Mm-hmm.
No. And then come back out, and then I make a point.
Books out, and books that are out are meant to be read. Books of knowledge. So
no, but they're out in a room.
Justifiable.
No, the door is closed though, Alyndra.
There's
That's
a hole in the door.
not how
There's a
that
hole in
works.
the wall, so
No, I'm with you on the hole in the wall, but I mean, like, it's just like, ugh. Okay. And like
information should be shared.
when we come out of the room, I just like make a very point of very loudly being like, "Oh, Alyndra, thank you, man. You're getting boots on halfling feet. It's tough. Thank you for your help.
Do you take a short rest here before you leave?
If we can."
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've mended the cup that I failed to grab with my tail, and I'm still downstairs answering questions for the guy. I'm probably pointing burn marks and being like, "And that was that was a dragon. That's where I got
wow.
that was an actual."
So wait,
yeah.
so you fight other dragons?
Not all of them, but yeah, when they decide that they want to turn me into flambe or my friends, yeah.
Oh wow! So that's not like against your people?
I'm not a dragon. I'm not a dragon.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
I just like
Sorry.
yeah. That's just
Okay.
some. It's a long story, but no, I'm not.
Yeah. Like I've seen. I have a distant. My second cousin, twice removed. Her husband is one of those devil people. So
Devil.
And
Yeah.
that's a long
Tiefling?
rest.
yeah, Tiffle.
Is
Yeah.
that what they call them here?
I have no idea.
Because
I
I mean,
think it's
everywhere I
a
go, they
tiff-
call me something different. Yeah.
A Tiffin. No, that's it. Tiffin. Yeah.
Tiffany. Oh, it's I know Tiffany the tiefling. Yeah, I've met her in Waterdeep.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
really nice. Bigger horns than mine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then I'll hear freely and say,
"Is that like that?" And he points at you. Is that like?
No, that's something.
Are you related?
Not that I know of. No.
No. Okay.
No.
I just thought maybe. Just thought because
we look alike.
You both have tails, and
you need to get out in the world some and meet some new people, friend.
Yeah, now it's weird. You can't offend people like that. Just because you have horns and a tail that you must be related. Like, no, they don't know each other either.
Like
we didn't know each other. Not all halflings, right? Come on, man.
I mean, I know a lot of halflings though.
But you didn't know. You don't know all. Come on, man. Come on. You're making us look bad. No, hang on. You know how this is when one halfling's in a room and that halfling's out of pocket, then all the other halflings look bad because of it. Okay, like I need you like.
I should keep my hands in my pocket. I didn't know that offended your people. He says to Orkira. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I would tell you if it's fine. It's fine. Really, you're back. Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Find anything? What do we got to do?
No, we just relax for a minute, and then it's time for us to go.
Okay.
We're gonna go talk to Salome.
All right. Hey, let me know if you need anything else set on fire. That I'm always happy to do.
Yeah, and if you guys need a meal while you rest, let me know. If you need, do your people drink our people's meads?
Oh wow! What do you mean, your people? Oh,
because the fire is the fire gonna set it on fire if it's high.
Only if I wanted to. Usually, I just do that with whiskey.
What happens if you sneeze? Will it whoosh? Would we all die if you?
That happens.
This person is a human or is a
halfling?
It's a halfling.
Yeah. This town is very sheltered.
Yeah. The fireball.
This individual especially so. You notice Millie wasn't quite as bad.
Listen, when you sneeze, do you lose everything that's inside of your head?
He might.
Because if I'm good and I sneeze, I don't set things on fire. Penelope, you want to grab a drink before we leave? He's been telling me about the mead here. Apparently, there's a lot of really good mead.
We have huckleberry. We have over 28 different libations. That's what we call drinks on tap. And
Penelope, is there a sharp uptick in the number of bugs on these flowers?
You noticed.
Well, I was gonna go.
Did you pick up a golden one?
No, not yet. I'm still looking.
Okay. We'll keep looking. So drink and then off to go see. What was her name again?
Sally.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
all right.
we just
we'll raise the cup. Hey, because you know what? You guys are back. I've missed you. I love you. We have 1 minute of sanity, which I'm sure will not last. So we perhaps should raise the cup while we can, and then back to it.
So 4 meads, all right. Yeah, this season's honey was amazing. So the mead turned out really good. We've added our own huckleberry twist on it. It's got a really nice kind of effervescent and slightly fruity flavor. It is very sweet though. So, sometimes people like to cut it with some fire whiskey. All right. Well, y'all have enjoy that. You notice he kind of stands across the bar from Orkira and just stares at her while she drinks.
Is he expecting me to set something on fire? Is he can I read him enough to see what?
To see how you drink it.
Okay, but he's not. Can I read if he's waiting for me to set the drink on fire?
A little bit. He wants to see if it catches fire when you drink it.
Okay. Do I think that will make him happy?
Yeah, he's very awestruck with you. Yeah, you think he would make him happy because now he could tell everybody about the time he met a dragon.
I will intentionally take it and I'll look over at Penelope and just kind of roll my eyes and then set it on fire and drink it.
Wow, whoa.
Penelope also looks at her drink and looks at Orkira thinking that and she just goes.
When she spits on it, I prestidigitate it to not light her drink on fire. It worked. Very much what? How'd you do that?
Wow. So that's okay. Is that from being around? Is that like, are you going to turn into that?
Oh man, I hope so.
All right.
Oh, that's cool. So if I hang out, will that happen? Did you used to be, this explains so much. That's why you're like us. You're used to be a halfling and then that happened. That's interesting. That is interesting. Because
wait, were you a halfling? Because I know you're a half dragon, but we didn't establish what the other half was.
But
like,
look,
have you been
so,
like a halfling this entire time?
The cute girl with the moss cape, she could do it. I bet you that's the first symptom, and then she's gonna turn, and then maybe because I've had exposure, maybe I'll do that, and then and he starts spitting in his drink.
Maybe I'll take out a tome
it
of
probably
Atma,
takes a while.
which deals with a lot of like anthropology and cultural relativism and like how to interact with people. And to be like, I think this would be a very valuable read for you. And I'm
wow, okay.
You enjoy it. There's a lot to learn.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm not one for reading, but I'll give it a read. I get a lot of spare time here.
I gathered that.
Yeah. You know, I gotta say
and
though, as a bartender,
send you the actual list.
You know, I got a lot of people skills. I spend my whole day talking to people. I don't get a lot of tips though.
Orkira looks completely confused and upset by all of this. She's gonna be like, "All right, can we go now?"
Yeah,
please.
Okay, well, let's go.
Right before we leave, when we he didn't pour a drink for himself, did he?
He did, just to spit in it to see if it caught fire.
Right before we leave, like without turning back, I pressed digitate to set his drink on fire too. Right before we go. Just like,
whoa, it's already taking root. I thought maybe it took a while, is what you hear as you leave.
Oh no!
And then you hear him be like, "I gotta tell Gary about this one. Oh man, he's not gonna believe it. I wonder if I spit on him, if he can do it too. I'm gonna go spit on Gary.
My work here is done." Head in the direction of Salome's lab. Oh, sorry. Yep.
Penelope, I thought you were the one that was doing all the tricks, but apparently Freely is too.
Yeah, he's the tricky one.
Okay.
As you walk, oh yes.
I was gonna be like, we collectively are tricky. That's all.
You make your way uneventfully to the edge of town. You go to the northern gate this time. The eastern gate goes to Daisy's house. The western gate goes to the mine. This time you go through the northern gate because that's the shortest way to get to Salome's lab. You see very far in the distance what used to be an old farmstead. There's a very small, cozy cottage and a large barn. And there's a large field surrounding it. As you approach, you notice that there is large scorch marks in this field and large craters and things like that. And there's actually some very experimental siege weaponry parked out front. There's two large dogs. They come up to you. They're very big. They're very shaggy. They're very like kind of matted and kind of wild. They don't attack you. They pant and kind of like bork a little bit as you approach. For the halflings, they're like twice your size.
These are like gnomish riding dog size.
Basically, yeah.
Or like goblin riding dogs rather.
Yeah,
I'm totally picturing Irish wolfhounds.
Yep.
Yes, roughly, yeah.
I press the digitate them both so that they like not gross anymore. Mm-hmm. And then I very much am immediately into the hey, you big old boy, hey, you big old, you big old scratchy boy. Yeah.
When he,
you know these dogs?
When he licks you, one tongue sweep gets your whole face. It's just such a large, happy boy.
I'll press the digitate it later.
Do you ride him to the barn?
Oh, if he'll let me, it's super well.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I heard about these. Oh, whoa, Penelope, oh my God. Their dogs are big enough to ride.
I'm right behind you.
Penelope hops on the other one.
I very much draw my new meteor sword and point it so it's like gleaming in the sun. And I'm like, forward. And ride this dog.
Alyndra and I are watching them trot away. And I turn to her and I go, so when do we get giant dogs to ride?
No, soon, hopefully.
All right. I'll keep my eyes out and we'll walk.
You both have a very good way with animals. You don't have a hard time controlling them. They take you to where you see some smoke rising out of the side of like this ventilation window at the top of the barn. You hear commotion coming from inside.
Like
I'm
upset,
gonna get to meet Salome. I'm so excited.
like upset commotion or like busy commotion?
A bit of both.
I just say, we probably should do this sneaky just in case. If she's working on explosives, we don't want to scare her.
You want to tell him, or should I?
Wait, well, first off, sneak. Also, if we sneak and then we come out of sneaking, are we going to surprise her? Should we just knock?
Yes, I think we should let her know that we're here.
Right when she says we should let her know that we're here, I cast thaumaturgy, so my voice is 3 times louder, and I go, Salome, we're here to visit.
You hear the banging and the clanging and the yelling stop. And then you see on the far side, so I guess like not on the long side, but on the shorter side of the barn, a door very slowly, a very large barn door, very slowly creaks its way open. And you see her, a very wrinkled old little goblin head pops out of the side, and she says, Freely!
Yes,
Oh, come in. I've been waiting for you. I've got things to show you. And you notice now as she hobbles out, she hobbles out on crutches.
Oh, like, well, let me introduce my friend. I got Penelope, the sweetest, fiercest halfling around. Even more
Nice
than
to
me.
meet you. How are you, dear?
Brought you some flowers.
Yes.
Oh, these are lovely. You'll have to hold on to them for me now, dear.
Orkira, the strongest and wisest of all dragonborn.
Oh,
and
wow. Been a while since I've seen one of those. How are you, honey?
I'm doing okay. I hope you're okay.
Oh,
And-
I blasted myself halfway to hell and back, darling.
Alyndra, the smartest and most powerful of all elven Swasra.
Hello,
I'm not
Alyndra, a
actually
beautiful
the
name.
most powerful. Hello, nice to meet you.
I think that was Salome's wife.
It is now.
I think it is that.
I've never met
It's
Salome.
been like 15 episodes. So
Yeah,
it
it has been a while.
Salome, how hurt are you? What happened?
Oh, I kind of banged up my leg when the engine exploded.
Oh, do you want me to
What
take a look?
engine?
I can see if I can heal it.
I think if you can, yeah, sure. And she takes her leg and kind of like juts it out at you.
I will. Would you like a medicine check? I can just cast a cure wounds. What would you like in order to determine what's gone wrong?
Give me a medicine check.
Sure. That's a 17.
She has shrapnel in her leg,
Ooh.
and that's why it's not healing right.
Ooh.
You notice
it-
that like a lot of the skin has healed pretty well.
Oh.
As you give a closer examination,
Oh, no.
the bones are not sitting right.
Hey, Freely, is there some place we can go inside with your friend? And I can fix this, but you're going to want to sit down.
I don't have time for that right now. We got to finish this amazing engine. You guys got to see it. And she like
Oh.
points to inside the barn.
Why don't we go inside the barn and you can talk and distract yourself from the thing I'm going to have to do to fix this?
What are you going to do? She like points her crutch at you.
There's a bunch of shrapnel in your leg. I got to remove it and then I can heal you.
Again? Ah! And she like
Have we
kinda
done this
hobbles
before? I thought
into
this
her
was the first
barn.
time we met.
Well,
okay.
maybe not with you. Another engine, another piece of shrapnel. One of these days, these things are gonna kill me. And she like pushes the barn door fully open, and now you see it. It is. There's a lot of metal. There's a lot of bronze staring at you. There is a large, almost circular contraption that has 4 large crab-like legs underneath it. It's suspended on hooks from the ceiling of the barn, and there's a almost like a trolley thing that you can see that she's been using to get underneath it and out of it. And it looks like it could fit you if you were a little bit smaller.
First of all, I love it. Second of all, what is it?
Well, that's what's gonna take you underground.
Underground or underwater?
Underwater. Yeah, you were underground.
Yes, it's
No,
impossible.
no, both are equally probable, honestly.
I mean,
Sally.
it is land capable as well as water capable. The problem's been powering it. It's heavy.
Is there? Will I be able to help with that?
Well, maybe. I've been working on the engine, but we've got other problems right now. The engine's almost done, but I think my old rivals are on my back. Really? You know what? I just realized this is Salazar's voice. God damn it.
It's not Salame's. She did sound like a grumpy old lady.
Yeah.
Goblin. Like they weren't so different. So
Yeah, that's true.
mm-hmm. You know what? She's been inhaling a lot of smoke.
Yeah, I've got a really rough throat right now, especially from that explosion.
Yeah, they got some shrapnel in here as well.
She's a little verklempt. I get it. It happens.
Mhm.
Get some Spielkis in her Connecticusoink.
I'm gonna like quietly to Penelope and Alyndra say, can you keep her distracted and talking, and I'll work on her leg because she's gonna need it. And
Distraction.
you're very good at distraction, Penelope. I trust you. And yeah, I'll do what I got to do on her leg off screen.
Okay. Are you gonna try to like draw the shrapnel out?
Yeah, I've actually done something like this before where I've had to use my claws as basically tweezers and do some slicing and dicing and I'm pulling shrapnel out. And then
So you'll have to remove a particularly large piece from her knee and you'll have to reset it.
Yeah, and I'll drop a cure wounds as soon as I'm sure I've got all the shrapnel out and everything's good to go. But yeah.
Okay.
But I'll do that while she's talking with them as a way of like keeping her mind off of what's probably going to be unpleasant.
I can also theoretically mage hand too, like if it's like a problem. Yeah, so.
Okay.
I do just kind of like when I see what Alyndra's or what Orkira's about to do, like moving in on her leg, I do kind of get in between her where I like literally almost like hold her face looking at mine.
Look
And
at
I'm
me,
like,
look at me.
yeah, I'm
Like,
this is
sit her
gonna be
down
much
on one
fun.
of her work stools and she's like, yeah. And she's like, anyways, I think I've got the perfect fuel. It's basically the submarine version of a cow patty. I've managed to get it to burn pretty clean, which is nice because you don't want to be inhaling that when you're under there. You got limited air supply. And as you're talking, you start to draw the shrapnel. Give me a sleight of hand check, Orkira.
Are you really building a poop marine for us?
Well, manure, I guess. The cow patties have been used as clean energy for a while.
Oh, there's nothing clean about that energy.
I got a 16.
A 16. You pull out. Do you go for the main piece first? That large piece that's in her kneecap?
Yeah, probably first thing because, yeah.
Okay. You pull it out successfully. Minimal damage. However, it does hurt because you don't pull it out that cleanly. Actually rolled a full 6 on that. You take 6 bludgeoning damage as she smacks you almost reactively with her crutch and goes, ow, well, what are you doing?
Yep. No, hey, you got very good reactions in that leg. That's good. You haven't lost any nerve damage. Hold still. Almost done.
That hurt.
Alyndra, ask her questions.
I'm trying not to hit you, but I can't help it. I just want to punch you in the face right now. What are you doing?
I'm fixing the leg. Talk to Alyndra. And I'm going to go for whatever is left. And as soon as like she's starting to engage with Alyndra, I'll go again.
Okay.
Were you saying your rivals were after you?
Oh, see, that's the other problem. I've got these rivals from this old town I used to be in, Mizna and Nazarick. They're twins, just like me and Salazar. Terrible people. And they got wind of my giant machine because of the explosion. I think
Wait, what were their names?
Huh?
Miss Rock? Their names?
Mizna and Nazarick.
Mizna and Nazarick.
Yeah, these two good for nothings from out of town. I got wind rather, that they're coming. I saw their stupid flying contraption.
They have a flying contraption?
Flying?
Well, not anymore. But they're on their way here. I could just tell. That won't keep them down for long.
Hey,
Why are they after you?
My inventions. Look at this beauty. And God knows they
It's
probably
stunning,
want my fuel
absolutely.
source too.
So tell us a bit more about this. You said it's the aquatic equivalent of a cow pie. What creature does it come from?
Well, it comes from this very strange creature that like buries a trench through the wall, through the seabed, but it leaves behind these great big nuggets of biomaterial that burn really clean. Just imagine a bottom feeder taking all this algae and nastiness off of the ocean floor and then turning it into this gold, green gold.
When we were on the bottom of the ocean, did I notice trenches or anything that looked like, now that she said it, did I notice like trenches having been dug through?
Yes.
Hmm.
There are parts of the seabed that sit a lot deeper.
Huh. All right. So aquatic cow pies. Cool. Hey, these rivals.
But it's got to be stabilized. You got to introduce a lot of different chemicals to make it not burn with a big boom, you know? She says this to Alyndra.
Well, but if we're
very hard. It's taken me several weeks to figure out an engine that can make use of it to run this thing. It's so heavy. For the most part, there's like a couple of things I gotta adjust. My calculations are over there, and she points to like
I'd like to go
rack with like where there's like a bunch of test
that.
tubes and
yeah, I'll go take a look and see what I can absorb from it.
Perfect.
And as I'm talking, I want to see if I can steer the conversation to children at some point.
Okay.
Just subtly, not anything overt, just a little bit of. Yeah. So, tell me about your did you grow up here, and what was your life like? And
I didn't really grow up here.
Or children?
My work hasn't left much time for children, to be honest. Daisy's, I guess, kind of like a niece to me, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I look out for her.
One just quick thing with really having no concept of what Alyndra's doing.
Mm-hmm.
These rivals of yours, do you want us to, like, you know, deal with them? And I do pop my sword up, shing, deal with them.
Well, dealing with them would be ideal. They're probably on their way here, and they're probably going to take the engine or the fuel or both.
They're just going to steal from you? I say as I'm pulling the last bits of shrapnel out.
Ow! And she smacks you again with her hand, this time instead of her cane. What are you doing? Stop that. You're going to maim me. I got to walk on this leg.
Yeah. You're going to walk on his leg in just a moment. I like the reactions. That's really good. Am I at the point where I can do a cure wounds and it'll heal up? Awesome. Yes. I will drop a cure wounds. I'll do it at second level because I've maimed her leg. So she's going to get 19 health back.
19. Perfect. So as the flesh mends back together, she says, "Oh, thank you, honey." And she like throws the crutches at you, and she starts walking around. And you notice like she still has like a little bit of a hobble, but she's moving around crutch free now. And she comes over to where you're standing at the chemistry station, and she's like, "We're probably gonna have to destroy all this. They can't have my research." And she starts pulling out like a canister of gasoline.
No. This, please. It's fine. I can protect it for you.
But they can't have my research.
No, I won't let them have your research. I've placed.
So we're gonna kill them.
Not. Hopefully not.
Perfect. She throws you notice now she throws the can of gasoline down and starts hobbling her way over to like where she's got a couple of crossbows hanging on the wall, and she takes.
I'll gather up her notes and put them in my bag.
Where's my flamethrower? I know I have one here somewhere.
Hang on. Wait, Sally.
Penelope, she's got a flamethrower. I like her a lot. Give her the flowers again.
Sally, you've got to guard the engines. You got to stay here with the dogs, guard everything, and we'll go take a look and see if we can find them.
These dogs are useless. They're not going to hurt anybody.
First of all, they can hear you when you say things like that, okay? And if nothing else, they're a good warning system.
And you see Pudding come bounding over, and then she like points it at you freely, and she says, "Sick, Pudding, sick!" And you see Pudding like kind of like come over and like pant and like do the thing where it goes in a circle and like waits for you to pet him. Useless!
I'm telling you, there is still the heart of a wolf beating in that shaggy chest. When you need him, Pudding will rise to the occasion. I promise you.
And if not, she's got a flamethrower.
Exactly. It's going to be much better than Pudding or Pops over there.
I motion towards Orkira, and I'm like, having ready access to a flamethrower has proven indispensable. That is true. Speaking of indispensable, Orkira,
Aw, that's very nice.
you can fly. Maybe like take
occasionally.
like a bird's eye view and see if you spot anybody creeping up on us.
Okay, but I'll be very obvious. So,
Well, if they start shooting, you start shooting back, and then we'll like do what we do. And I'd like my eyes like glow a little bit, like with my Eldritch Blast.
okay. All right, sure. I will hand the crutches off to Penelope
Okay.
because you're right there. Here, she gave these to me. Here, take this, and I will go outside and pop into the air and take a flight around looking for people. You said this was a farmstead, so it's got to be fairly
Yeah.
open land, so I should be able
Yeah.
to see anyone.
Okay.
Did we get a description of these two?
Twins.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you know they're twins. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure.
Well, I do look at Penelope, and I'm like, where did you see a centipede big enough to know how to wild shape into that?
I'm very small. Yeah, everything's big. Everything's big to me.
I got a 16.
Okay. So you do see a little bit of smoke off in the distance. You see some sort of contraption was like basically crash landed there. It's completely obliterated to pieces now. You see one person pulling themselves from the wreckage and another person like pulling them out and being like, come on, hurry up, we gotta go.
Do they look okay?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
They look a little rough around the edges, but
And it's just the two of them?
they you see, yes.
I'm gonna fly on over.
Okay.
Hi, you two okay?
Whoa, what the heck is that?
I'm an Orkira. Hi. Can I help you?
No, you cannot. We got a job to do.
Oh, what job are you doing?
Boss man's up ahead. We got to go catch up with him. Sorry, we'll check out you later, Toots.
Toots? What's a toots?
They don't answer. They continue like, you know, the dude finishes pulling his bag from the wreckage, straps it on his back, and follows the other one.
We sure the town isn't called microaggressions.
Do I see the boss that they're going after?
No.
Okay. What boss? Who are you looking for? Maybe I saw them on the way in.
Long black hair,
Could you be more specific than that?
pale skin, dressed in
Alright.
purple, very flashy. You'd know if you saw him.
Yeah. I'd be attracted to the purple. And no, I didn't see anyone like that.
Mm-mm.
All right. No, I didn't see anybody. I had a nice view. That's how I saw all of you. What are you up to?
And as you're having this conversation with these two, the barn door on the other side comes crashing open, and almost like, you know, there's like a cloud that comes billowing in of like glittery purple, and a voice comes carried in on it. And as it does, you hear the words freely and Alyndra and Penelope, because you're inside the barn, and you see Salome like roll her eyes and be like, oh, not this. And you hear like almost like a music play. And then you hear like a very silky voice be like, oh, Sally, you thought you could get away from us? You have something that belongs to us.
I don't know who this is, but I like the cut of their jib.
And then almost like a flash, boosh, with a secondary pink puff of smoke, they appear. Two individuals. They look half elven to you. Long black hair. One has it like in a very long braid over their shoulder. The other one has it kind of like pulled into a very high bun with like a tie, like a red tie around the middle. And they're both wearing purple, almost looks like leather jumpsuits or something similar to that. And you see it. They have almost identical faces. They look to be about 50 to you, 50 years of age, and like our human years, you know. And Salome is just like, oh, not this. No, no, no. And one of them strikes a pose and she goes, give us the engine or your life. And it's where you see Sally kind of like pull up her gigantic flamethrower and roll for initiative.
Oh dear. I think I thought the two that we were looking for were the two that Orkira has made a great
They
mistake.
have an entourage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your perception didn't catch them.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Do you want these just in chat, or would you like us to rattle them off?
Rattling them off would be ideal.
Okay. Orkira got a 13.
Okay, perfect.
Penelope
Alyndra has
got a 10.
A 9, perfect.
10.
10, awesome.
21.
21, perfect. And then, got to roll for Salome. Salome got a 5.
I'm suddenly smelling a lot of smoke, and we're in fire country. So if I turn and run out of here, like all of a sudden, I'll be like, "What is that?" It's either
obviously
somebody burns some popcorn, or imminent death. So, but those are the kind of the two brackets.
Oh gosh,
It's a wide range. It's a super wide range.
All right, Freely, you go first. What do you do?
When she says, give us the engine or your life, is there any indicator that like she's like starting to cast a spell, reaching for a weapon, or is she sort of like just like posing still and saying it?
She's posing. Like as she does, she's like kind of you from your knowledge of arcane spells, this isn't like somatic casting so much as it's her like flair.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice now that the purple smoke is scented. It smells vaguely like cotton candy.
See, the challenge I have here is like I have a weakness for Zaz. Like, I mean, I appreciate the presentation here, you know? I would like to I'm out of all my spells. We haven't rested.
Yeah,
no,
we
you got a
did.
short rest
Oh.
back
Yeah,
at the end.
That
Shorts-
doesn't help.
Short's not enough.
Yeah, sure, it doesn't help some of us. Yes.
Sure doesn't help. Yeah.
Yes. It's okay. We'll make it
that's all right.
work.
No, we're going with this here.
Mhm.
I would like to hold my attack,
Mhm.
but I pull out my new sword and pop the other sword out, and I just say, "This is not a defenseless goblin here. This is not gonna be as easy as you think." And only if they like make a move towards her will I hit them. But otherwise, I'm just like, shing, like, hold
Yeah.
on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of like pauses and she's like, well, then maybe it won't come to that. And you hear like her brother say, yes, get the engine. And he like snaps and you see another thug come around the corner. He goes for the engine, which is on your, I guess, like your left.
I'd
from
like
where
that
you're
dude up.
standing.
If he goes for the engine, I'd
Okay.
light him up.
All right. What do you light him up with?
I'll green flame blade him. Since I said I
Okay.
held, I'll just single attack. But I'll green flame blade him with my meteor sword.
Okay.
Spicy. My spicy sword. Is 23 enough to hit him?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, you never know. He might be like, no. And I'm like, I've reevaluated my position on the matter. I would like to talk.
Mhm.
I'm not going to smite him because kind of got one of those now. But I do hit. You know what? Well, I can't. No, I can't non-violent hit him with the green flame blade. So no, I'm gonna light him up. 9, 10. 15 points of damage, but pending how close he is, the green flame blade will make a second enemy erupt into flames too. I'll let you decide if it's close enough for the other one to get burned.
Let's see. It would probably be enough for, I think, like her brother to get burned, Nazarick. You see now there's like a very flourishy N embroidered on his breast piece for his like leather jumpsuit.
So it's 15 to the guy I've attacked, and the flames would leap over and do 6 points of fire. Green flames would leap over and do 6 points of fire damage.
All right, perfect.
And that's it for me.
All right, it is the guy you attacked turn. He uses his entire movement to try to get to the table with the engine on it. But just by looking at it, you could tell this is like very big, very heavy. It is, however, like on the same trolley that it was transported here on. And you see him begin to try to move it. Then you see Nazarick, this green flame like kind of bursts against him, and he goes, "Oh, how gauche." And as he does this, he pulls from his like back pocket, and this is when you notice he is wearing purple leather booty shorts over almost like dancer tights, and he has
why can't we be friends?
and he has silver boots that come up to his knees.
We're being attacked by go-go dancers. What is going on?
So remember when I said I'd switch sides for Miss Piggy? I'm on the presentation here. It's like, come on.
Yeah, full marks for presentation, 100%.
He pulls out a very large, elegant, almost like a silver rod. And as he does, he like strikes one pose and then another and points it at you. And you hear a crackling. And as it goes off, go ahead and a wave of thunderous force sweeps out. He casts Thunder Wave. So make a Constitution saving throw, including Salome. So that's going to be Alyndra, Penelope, and Freely.
What type of saving throw?
Constitution.
Oh, Constitution.
Hey!
Nat 20.
Hey!
Very nice.
We haven't said what happens with the natural 20 this time for people that may not know.
Oh, yes. Every single time myself or one of the cast members rolls a natural 20, somebody in the audience wins a legendary bundle from D&D Beyond. Normally, I do a really good job of saying that before the show, but we got distracted by Muppets and Sesame Street.
Now including Icewind Dale.
Yeah.
Which came out today.
Get it there first.
Very nice.
It's really cool. It's really
cool and cold.
Yes. Boom, 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 boom. That's a big old 15 on my save.
Okay.
IDK if that's enough.
Let me check. Wait, where is it?
I'm like, how dare you make me raise swords against someone so glorious, though?
I have a DC of 15.
Hey. Also, you super watched Lovecraft Country this week, didn't you?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
What did you roll, Penelope?
18.
18. Okay, so everybody makes it, including Salome, who rolled even with her -1, an 18.
Nice.
All right, so
Yeah, Orkira, that's some good healing there.
So because it was a successful save, you do not get pushed back 15 feet, or 10 feet. Sorry. You feel the thunder wave kind of like push against you, and you brace yourselves and probably against each other a little bit since you're all standing near this chemistry table. Some of the glass tubes and contraptions beneath you get pushed over and knocked over and fall and explode. A very strange smell kind of wafts up to your nostrils as some of these implements are broken. You hear Salome kind of exclaim like angrily, and then you take, let's see, you'll take half damage because you all saved. So 5 damage each.
Woohoo.
All right. And after that, you see another thug come running in through the door and also ready to like help pull this cart. He uses his full movement to get to the cart. Orkira, it's your turn. You see the 2 thugs near you kind of light up as they're like, oh, looks like it started.
So I'd flown in to chat with them, and I'd been within like 30 feet. I hadn't gone right next to them or landed. Hearing the thunder wave go off because it's loud.
Yeah, it's loud.
Look at these 2.
Yeah, they look at you. They're like, looks like everything started.
Are you sure you really want to be involved with this?
Well, I mean, we did take the job. We kind of have to.
I know, but hey, I'm a giant dragon here to protect the thing. Rawr.
Roll intimidation.
She might be. May I argue that she is trying to persuade them, not intimidate them. She's trying to give them an out. Like, hey, we had a like. She's not trying to intimidate them. She's trying to say like, hey,
All right.
we ran into a dragon, and here's an excuse.
Okay. Roll persuasion.
Sure. My persuasion is slightly better. I only rolled a 13.
Oh, well, I'm not sure we can call in sick to work over a dragon. What do you think? And you hear the other one be like, no, I'm pretty sure. Do you want to go with us? We can just walk over together.
Yeah, but then we're just going to have to fight over there.
Oh, you're going to fight us?
Well, I'm supposed to protect the Salome, and my friends are in there. So, like, there's a whole crew of people in there. So if you're not distracted by giant dragon, and if it looks like they're not being persuaded by me, there's a rumble in my chest as I fly 15 feet closer, and smoke will start to curl and fire, and I will give them another second, but I will get ready to breathe. So
now roll for intimidation.
Okay. She wasn't trying to intimidate, but we'll do this. We'll do this. It's a 14.
They draw their swords. They like loose them.
I will breathe on them then.
Okay.
So I need them to make dexterity saving throws DC 13. They will take half damage even if they succeed.
Okay. So I got an 11.
That's a fail.
And a 17.
All right. So the failure will take 7 fire damage.
Okay.
The success will take half.
Okay.
I will breathe on the two of them.
Perfect.
And then how far away am I from the building?
You flew. So you're a bit of a ways away.
Okay.
It would probably take you your whole movement to get there.
Okay. But it would probably take them maybe a movement or two?
Yes. Easily.
Yeah. I'm going to turn and be like, you can still decide to leave. And I will fly towards the building to go. I will go towards the side that was opened up by the thugs.
Perfect. As you do this, it is Measna's turn. She pulls out a giant silver warhammer from her back and flies up. What does she do? She flies up 10 feet and lands on top of the giant sort of like contraption you all have. And as she does, she swings down on who is standing nearest to it. Were any of you standing particularly close to it?
I mean, I went after the dude who was trying to get to it, so you tell me, really.
Yeah. All right. She brings the warhammer down with a, like, you know, very extra brandish. And you notice now she's wearing a mini skirt with lace-up boots. And like I said, a high neck. It's like a high neck collar on her jumpsuit. And I got a 21.
I love them both so much. How many other hostiles do I see in the area?
There's 2 sort of grunts that she has with her, and then her and her brother.
So right now, her one grunt has acted, the brother is acted, she is acting, and one grunt has done nothing so far.
The other grunt had to use their whole moment to get in, or their whole movement to get in and get to that weird trolley that the engine is on.
Okay. I'm actually going to take this hit then.
Okay.
I mean, it's enough to hit me. It was whether or not I was going to put my shield up. That's the thing I was debating.
Yeah.
Yep.
She brings it down with both hands and does 7 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
As the hammer comes down on your head.
Yeah. Hey.
And then Penelope, it is your turn. You see Freely kind of say that as the hammer comes down squarely on his head.
Oops. Okay. Penelope's gonna run, and she's gonna run underneath the contraption, this hanging engine, and she's just gonna say, "I must protect it, right? I must protect it." And she casts Warding Wind.
Ooh, okay.
So basically, 10-foot radius, so 20 feet around 20 feet wide. Wind starts to blow around, like I'm centered, and it basically creates like a force field, kind of. It's going to deafen creatures in its area. It's going to extinguish any flames. It becomes difficult terrain for any creatures other than me, and attack rolls on ranged weapons have disadvantage.
Very nice. So
that's cool.
As the wind kicks up, you notice like the two people that are holding onto the trolley kind of like are like, oh gosh, and you can't even hear each other over the sounds of like, the wind blowing. You now notice that like there was a small fire starting to pop up in the corner where all those chemicals fell over, and it immediately gets extinguished as the winds kind of like, kick up. Alyndra, what do you do?
I would like to, there was one that has been hit pretty hard. I would like to use a mind spike.
Okay, perfect. On one of the thugs on the trolley.
Yeah, the one that was hit. I thought it was the brother who got hit.
The brother got the backlash,
got
a little bit of the green flame damage, but
he's been damaged,
yeah,
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that works for me. So I am going to go ahead and I will cast my mind into his. He must make a wisdom saving throw, but I have foreseen this moment, so he will fail it.
Okay, perfect.
And then I will know his location until the spell ends as well, and then he's going to take some damage from it.
Perfect.
And he'll take 3d12. Oh yeah, 11, 8, and 12.
Very nice.
He is going to take 31 points of damage.
Ooh, yeah. You see him like
skewer into his head.
You see him like grab his head. There's like a splitting pain that soars through him, almost like a migraine, as he goes, oh, and you hear Mizna say, what is wrong? And she like almost looks concerned, and she's like momentarily distracted as this happens. Salome takes advantage of the distraction and grabs a nearby like flask of something off the table. Oh God, this could be bad. She almost maniacally is like, get off my ship, and throws it. Yeah, hussy. The flask goes flying and breaks at Mizna's feet. And as it does, like this thick bubbling foam kind of like comes up and hardens almost immediately around her feet, locking her in place. And then you see Salome be like, take that. And she is going to use her other action, because it's like a random fling, to smack her with the business end of her flamethrower.
Wait, by business end, do you mean set her on fire, or she physically hits her with the flamethrower?
Well, she's not the butt. Yeah, she's going to hit her with the flamethrower because she
Right.
doesn't want to ignite it with all this wind.
Got
I
it.
got a nat 20.
Hey.
On that roll.
Oh, Salome!
Right. It's to
Crit.
get off my ship. Yep.
Get off my ship, but let me whack you first.
Oh my gosh, that's so much damage.
Good. Get him, Salome.
Yes. You see her, it's almost like somebody chastising a dog. Like there's you at this point you actually know freely you would notice it. There's
Mhm.
almost like a bit of camaraderie between them. Like
Mhm.
they've known each other for a while. And
Mhm.
you feel like maybe Salome isn't using her full force. But also see her take the big golden, she's got this big like gold colored flamethrower that has like all these knobs and tubes and bits and bobs on it. And she does take it both hands overhead and be like, get out of my lab, get off of my ship, get away from my engine. And she like brings it down on her twice, like smacking her for a good amount of damage. You'd see her go, ow, Salome, stop it. And then it is the two thugs outside turn. And they are going to attack Orkira.
Although she should have some distance on them, right? She moved.
I
Yes.
would probably have because I'd moved 15 feet.
She moved 15 feet.
Towards them in order to be within breathing distance. I have a flight speed of 50, so I would have moved 35 away.
Yep. And so you're just within crossbow range.
That's fair. I don't got any more warding flares left, so bring them on.
I don't think a 12 hits.
12 does not hit.
I don't think a 13 hits either.
No, neither.
Both of the crossbow bolts go flying wide. And then Freely, it is your turn again.
I say something nasty to them in Draconic.
Between the brother and the sister, who looks hurt worse?
The brother.
I just look at him and I say, Salome, if I kill this dude, Orkira can probably bring him back. So is that okay?
You notice like now she's like kind of torn, like seeing him clutching his head.
I get it. I come in with both swords, but just non-lethal. I'm like, I'm just like smacking him with the flat of both swords. 18 and 16.
All right. Those both hit.
Okay. Let me take my smite dice out of the pool.
Oh.
So I guess I won't do it. Although I do hit him pretty hard. 16 non-lethal on one.
Mm-hmm. That is enough.
Okay.
Just the first one's enough. He goes out like a light.
Oh.
Yeah, his head is already like pounding from the mind spike.
Then actually when I pop him and he drops, instead of hitting him with the second one, I just put my sword at his throat and I look at his sister and I just say, stop now.
Okay. As you say that, she's just like, fine, let him go. And she like tries to get the foam off her feet and she calls off the thugs. Stop it. Clearly we've been beaten. I don't even know where those other two imbeciles are.
You hear flapping from outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they're probably dragon food by now. I try and say that before she arrives.
Yeah. Never go with the cheapest help you can hire. And Salome is just like, serves you right.
I do look at Alyndra and I look down at this dude. I'm like, you really work this guy.
Just making trouble.
And they make it double.
Wait.
And I lied. It was a Toll the Dead, not a mind spike on him. Same. Yeah. The damage was Toll the Dead.
I'm like, if they have a cat, I'm leaving with the cat. If Meowth is here, I'm telling you, like this, like I'm starting in a spinoff. Is all I'm saying. I actually don't take the sword away from his neck, but I do kind of like I had the sword at his neck is the one out of my hand, but I do sheath the meteor sword, so I just kind of stand there, like basically enforcing some honesty here.
All right.
Yeah.
Penelope drops her warding wind, and she's
Did we win? Did we win already?
No, you did it. You did it. Woo! I would chest bump, but I can't move. I'm like high five. High five. Yeah.
Hi, there's two more outside. Oh, did we win?
Yes, you've won. We get it. And she like cracks the foam around her feet, and she's like, "What is this?" And you hear Salome go like, "Fire retardant foam, you dumb harpy." Like she grabs her crutch again, starts hobbling around. You're not dead yet. No, but I wish you were.
Hey, no asking for death when you don't have to.
Well, you don't know her. Well, you don't know her.
Okay, we can all be friends here. Okay, I have to ask a very important question, okay? So think about it. If we let you go, are you just gonna come back and try this again when we're not here?
Well, not right away. And not for the engine. Although we did really want the engine. We know when we're defeated. And she kind of like walks over. She hops down and walks over to her brother and kind of is like, oh, what did you do with him?
He kind of got it inside and out. Follow-up question. And I do like when she gets close, I do kind of like back away a little so she can tend to him. And I say, actually, believe it or not, I'm going to use my last spell slot to healing word him. It's just enough for him to. Actually, no, I won't. I'll lay on hands him. I will give him 1 hit point. Okay. I just say like, wake up.
Perfect. He comes to.
And I just say, how did you guys even know about the engine?
we have our ways and our informants.
Hey, Freely, you want me to figure?
No, I'd like the sword leaps into flames again. Green flame blade.
Okay. No need for such brutality. And as she says this, on the ground, Nazarick gets up and he's like, well, when we're beaten. Someone from your town told us about the explosion at the inn, so we knew Sally was up to something. We always have people looking out for her. And you see, all of them, kind of exchange, like a triangle of, venomous glances with each other.
And what were you going to do with this?
Well, we didn't really have a plan. Obviously, we were going to build our own war machine. Because clearly that's what this is. Ours would have more cannons, and it would be purple, and it would play music.
I mean, I do like the purple pants.
When she says that, I do look at Sally, and I'm like, can ours be purple and play music?
Oh, I hate them.
No, my friend.
It can't be purple. No, purple is not the color. It's a bronze aesthetic. What do you? No. That doesn't even make sense. Why would it be purple?
No, everybody knows bronze is the most beautiful of all colors. Yes, that is true. Wait, hang on. Time out. Maybe we can cooperate, and by your powers combined, you can make a bigger, better war machine.
That's what I was going to say.
I would rather die. I would rather eat a piece of glass and pass it slowly through my bowels. I would rather jump into a live volcano. I would rather chop off my own foot and serve it to my brother. I would rather jump into the ocean naked in the middle of winter, sing with cinder blocks tied to my feet, and live at the bottom. I would okay, that's really hard.
I'd lean over to Penelope and I'm like, are they gonna make out?
I got no words.
And as they argue with each other about what they would rather do than work together, that is where we will call today's session. Now, Kat.
Now kiss. Yes. Now go off and be happy together.
Now,
I can do anything.
The most dysfunctional relationship ever. Although the purple pants, I mean, that's amazing.
No, you described them way too fabulous for me to hurt them.
They are very fabulous.
The three of you know Orkira's underclothes are all dark, deep royal purple. So she's like, oh, yeah.
It's true.
How did it become common knowledge that Orkira's under things?
I mean,
because she left in a bag for 6 years without pajamas.
Yeah. She has basically her armor and her underclothes because everything has to be made custom because her body is weird. And so when she takes off her armor, all she has is a shorts and a pair of and a t-shirt that are deep purple for reasons. But so she's looking at these pants like, I should have gotten purple pants. Hey, I gotta tell Harold about this.
Don't kink shame why we know,
I'm not kink shaming. I think that's awesome.
No, I mean, she's kink shaming us collectively. That's what I'm saying. We've been through things.
Really, did you want purple pants?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Although,
Penelope, we should all get purple pants like these people.
Was less kink shaming and more
ritual vestments?
Wondering if you didn't look away, and give her the courtesy when she changes.
No. We've lived together for way too long for that to be a problem.
You definitely get to creep shame. No, that would be acceptable. Although it freely did hear Alyndra say you could do it with prestidigitation, and that's literally never occurred to him. So you may never see him in the same colored clothes again, ever. Never see the same color twice. Yeah. Can I go through a mauve stage next? And that's
Ooh, mauve.
The possibilities with prestidigitation are endless, as we've seen.
It might be the best spell.
That and thaumaturgy are two of my favorites. There's a reason why he's got both.
Yeah.
All right, B. Dave, who are you? Where can people find you? What are you working on?
B. Dave Walters, say words about things. I'm everywhere, doing everything. We're working on a project with Jasmine called Into the Motherlands that is going to be based on a system called the Cortex system, which is brought to you by D&D Beyond. So, hey, announcement went out on Monday. You'll be able to hear more about that soon. Doing all sorts of stuff. Pirates of Leviathan launches tomorrow. D&D Celebration, doing Dark and Wish on Friday at 2 Pacific, the DM's panel Saturday at 11, and doing the Realmsmith game Sunday at 11. So I will be all over the place. Don't even try and keep track of me. Just follow me on Twitter at @BDaveWalters, and I'll just tell you where I am at the time.
Amazing. Jen?
I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as DreamWisp. You can find me here as DreamWisp Jen. I am the creator of the Tabletop Accessibility Guide, and I will be at Celebration Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We are going to do an inclusive design panel. By the end of it, you will be able to have a mini dungeon of your very own. And that's where I am right now.
Very nice. Lauren?
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. You can find me wherever D&D Beyond is sold. I will also be at the D&D celebration this weekend. I will be on a panel that is helmed by the amazing Critical Bard. We're doing a all Bard panel at 3 p.m. Pacific. So join us then, and watch everybody else's panels and come hang out on D&D Beyond because it's fun.
Very nice. Hope?
I am Hope LaVelle. I'll keep this short and sweet, just like me. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheHopeLaVelle, and I will be supporting and watching all the D&D celebration stuff, and it'll be amazing.
Very nice. And as always, I'm Jasmine, that Bronze Girl Bhullar. I host a daily talk show on Twitch at that Bronze Girl. I tweet funny things from time to time. I'm going to be writing the first adventure for Into the Motherlands RPG. So if you like my adventures, check that out. And I am doing a new science fiction show with some of my very good friends, Josephine McAdam and Alex Ward. You might be familiar with them, as well as some of their friends. And that's called Eclipse. And super excited to bring that to her channel. So if you like sci-fi horror, the opposite of this show, check it out. That's us. I hope you all take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Bye.